So I'm posing this as a question, and I didn't actually come out here today to actually shoot a video or talk about anything. I really just came out here today to do my weekly or bi-weekly patrol, basically. But I'm proposing a question to people who think that they can come out and, you know, the crap's hit the fan and they're going to come out and they're going to just live in the woods, and that's how they're going to survive the whatever situation you want to be preparing for. That's how they're going to do it, whether it be invasion, WROL, SHTF, whatever. But my question for them is, do you really know your resources? Do you really know that, okay, it's the end of May right now. End of May. I know that at the end of the May that blueberries are starting to turn ripe. And I know this because I've come out here and I take notes on this stuff. I write this stuff down. I've got a notebook. I keep it with me all the time when I come out here. I write down it's already, let me backtrack a little bit. It's already got the plants that are edible and their medicinal uses, as well as how to prepare them, whether it be to eat or to use as medicine, which you should, if you're going to plan on spending any long length of time in any wilderness situation or scenario or setting, you should have that wrote down in a book and with you. But I keep that wrote down in a book, and I write down also that when I learn and when I figure out that blueberries starting to turn ripe in end of May, mid-May, end of May. There's lots of green ones that are on the bushes. They're just not ripe. They'll usually stay on the bushes till it gets really, really hot, and then the heat pretty much just kills them off. So I got a good month or two of those. Usually about 3 months sometimes, depending on weather. But I've got that stuff wrote down. And what made me think of this was walking to where I'm at right now. I seen a whole bunch of blueberry bushes, and there was blueberries ripe on them. And I stopped and ate a few, and made me think about this. And if you don't truly know your resources while you're out here, that's going to negatively affect you. And I'm not a big proponent of basically you living off of plants. I'm definitely not that. But you should know the plants still. You should know which ones you can and cannot eat. Because if you eat the wrong ones, you can die. Just because you saw it on a video or you saw it in a book, but you don't know that there's a lookalike, and you eat the one that's a lookalike, and next thing you know, you're dead. So you should know some plants to eat and what they look like and how to identify them and all that jive. But I saw the blueberries and grapes. I saw several grapevines walking to this spot. Now, grapes are definitely not ripe yet, but they're starting to, the little grapes are starting to form on the vines. But, which this goes back to, do you know your resources? I know from coming out here and learning these things and learning, when the grapes become ripe and when the best time to eat them are, that for the most part, if you're going to be eating wild grapes out here, at least where I'm at, the wild grapes seem to be higher up in the tree. The ripe ones seem to be up there, and the lower you are to the ground, there's usually no grapes. That's something I've noticed. I don't know if it's because maybe deer or whatever's eating them. I don't know. But they're usually higher ups where the ripe ones are going to be. And that's usually later on in the summer. But that's because I know my resources out here. I don't know all of them, but I know a good chunk of them. Whether it be trees like sassafras. I know what it can do for me, and some say it's harmful. I don't think it is, but I know what it can do for me. Mullein, which is a plant, bald cypress trees, which are very very widespread throughout the South. Can't talk today, apparently. They're very widespread throughout the South, and I know what it can do for me. Let's see, another one. Oak, very prolific. throughout the South and well throughout the country really. And you can use oak for quite a bit of things. Willow is another good one. Cattail, dandelion, onion grass, you know, even briars. That has uses. But you got to study that stuff to know your resources. And if you don't know your resources and you're expecting to come out here and live off of fish the entire time, which don't get me wrong, I'm solid firm carnivore and pretty much eat nothing but meat, but you need to know your other resources too. And this is just, I guess this is really just an example. The plants and the fish are, but you should know your resources. Know what's out here that can harm you, help you, feed you, and benefit you, I guess. And this goes out to the people that think they can just come out here with their bag and what they pack in their pack and in their pockets and be fine and dandy for a year. It ain't gonna happen. But and this is not calling anybody out. Anybody out, but just made me think of that when I saw the blueberry bush. So I'm gonna keep moving on. Probably gonna do a little bit of fishing today, might even, depending on if I get a hog. So anyway, drink plenty of water. It's getting hot. Make sure you hydrate. Make sure you learn your resources and get out in the field and not only write it down in a book, go out in the field and learn it. Practice what you just learned about those plants and what they look like and when you can eat them and how to prepare them. If you don't practice it, it's not going to help you. So do all that, and I'm going to keep moving.